Welcome back to Unscripted After 40, the podcast, untitled, unrehearsed, with real talk from real people. Episode 2, Going Down in the Club. Now, by the end of this, I'm going to explain to y'all why this is not my fault. But let me tell you what happened first, okay? About 2 or 3 years ago, I went out to the club and I had an unfortunate accident. And the unfortunate accident was that I fell asleep in the club, okay? It was an accident. It wasn't my fault, okay? The sad part about this situation that I wasn't even drunk. So I can't even, not one drink. I can't even blame that. Say, you know what? I had too much to drink and that's why, I leaned back and I fell asleep. I can't even use that excuse. But don't worry, I'm going to explain to you. And by the end of the story, I want y'all to be the judge of, say that you understand that you're on my side, that, hey, it can happen to the best of us. It's just me, unfortunately, that it happened to, and that my friends let it happen to me. So let's go. The time I fell asleep in the club, okay? About 2 or 3 years ago, back in Virginia, my friends called me on a Wednesday and said, hey, Jay, we're coming up to VA and we're going to go out on Friday. I said, okay, that's cool. So we're going to go out like around 5 on Friday. They're like, no, man, that's too early. Old people go out around 5. We still young and vibrant. We're going to go out around 8. I like, why 8 o'clock? I go to bed at 9. They're like, dude, just take a nap. What's wrong with you? You're acting like an old man. I'm like, because I am old. I just want to sleep after 8 o'clock. So that's one of my rules after 40, don't go out after 8. That's like a cardinal rule. But you know what? I was trying to be a good friend. That was mistake number 1. I should have just let them go by themselves. But you know what? I'm going to be a good friend. So I should at least get some brownie points for being a good friend, right? So Friday comes. That morning, I called myself running 5 miles. That was mistake number 2. Mistake number 1, agreeing to go with them after 8 o'clock. Mistake number 2, running 5 miles that morning before I knew I had to go to that excursion journey, that destination that night. So I like, you know what? I'll be fine. I'm going to rest up during the day. I'm going to take a nap during lunch. And then I'm going to get home early, take me another pre-nap. None of that happened, okay? That's pretty much none of that happened. So I tried to take a nap at lunchtime. My son called me about something that he had to talk about that we had to deal with. And then I tried to go home early, but I couldn't get off work early. So by the time I got home from work, it was around about 6 o'clock. So now it's about 6 o'clock. I got 2 hours before this tragedy is about to happen. But let's back it up. I actually only got an hour before this train wreck is about to happen, because it takes about an hour to get there, because they say, hey, you need to be ready at 7. I'm like, God dang it. So now I don't even have time to take a nap. So I'm already down 10 toes. So we even start. I didn't take a nap during lunch, and I didn't take a nap after work. And I ran that morning and I worked all day. So to me, that's a long day. And remind you now, my bedtime is at 9. They know that. I know that. My body knows that. So keep that in mind now, okay? But I man up. I say, you know what? My boys in town tonight. We're going to have a good time. I'm going to hit my chest. It's 25-year-old Jeff coming out. So I bounce my shoulders up and I say, you know what? We're going to get this going. I splashed some water on my face and I shook my head, got in the shower. So you know what? Take a nice hot shower. It's going to wake me up and I'm going to be ready, right? That hot shower did not wake me up, okay? As soon as I got out the shower, I felt even more tired. It's like that shower it was like that shower was my cool down for the day. That let my mind and my body know that, hey, the day is over. You have washed and cleaned yourself. You washed the dirt of the day off you, and now it's time to go to bed. So in my mind, I knew it was time to go to bed. But in reality, I told these people I was going to be ready at 7. So I had to shake it off. So I got dressed. did my hair. Okay, if y'all looking on the thing, y'all know I ain't got no hair, but I put some, some lotion on my hair, and put some smell good on, make sure I smell good, and went out. Okay, so get in the car. Now I'm ready at 7. These the first time these cats ever been on time. Okay, now the one time I would expect them to be on CP time, they're not. They showed up like goddamn 911 in a white neighborhood. They was on time, ready to go. So at 6:59, they was honking their horn. I like, you gotta be kidding me. So these cats are ready to go. So I like, okay, you know what? We're doing this. We're doing this. So I get in the car. I realize, you know what? I got about 30 minute to a 45-minute drive, right? So I figure I can get me a nap, right? Wrong. Okay. So it was 4 of us. Okay. So my homeboy was driving, right? He wasn't drinking because he was driving. He asked me to sit in the passenger side because my other 2 homeboys in the back, they was drinking. Matter of fact, they already started pre-gaming. They was like, they was lit, or whatever you call it, whatever you young people call it, they were ready. So he didn't want to deal with them. So he like, you know what, Jay, can you sit in the front with me and, kind of give me directions where we're going and make sure I don't miss the turns and stuff. I like, what? Like, I was planning to take a nap before we get there. He like, come on, Jay, I'm not really from Virginia, man. I'm just using the GPA. I'm the GPS. I'm saying GPA like I'm scoring my GPA, but the GPS. And he said, can you help me out? I said, you know what? He's right. I kind of know exactly where the area, where the place at. So where we going at, I'm not going to be approved here. I'll make sure we get there, right? So now I got to stay awake for 45 minutes. Because like, see, that was my 3rd chance, my last chance to sleep, to get my body rested and go. Now, around this time, it's about, we going up there around about 8:15, 8:30. Now I realize that we got to take that long ride up that road, okay, up 95. So we're riding 95, like I said, we get there, we get to Richmond, right? We get to the place. Now, I never looked at my watch so much in my life because I guess that my body was telling me or trying to negotiate with me or ask me what the hell I'm doing. Because we speak earlier, like I told you earlier, my bedtime is 9 o'clock. So I'm like looking at my watch like, oh man, it's just 8:50. God dang it. Like saying it's almost 9 o'clock. So I mean, my legs shaking, I'm rubbing my hand, I'm looking like I'm waiting for some drugs or something. I'm trembling. My body is ready to shut down on me. But we digress. I said, I'm gonna go out these fellas. Cause they came up to see me. We're gonna have a good time. So we park the car, we get out. Like I said, my other 2 homeboys, they lit, they ready, they hype, they jumping up and down, they amp ready. I like, oh man, I'm gonna get some of their energy. Their energy gonna rub off on me, and I'm gonna get hyped too. So I told myself, as soon as I get in the club, I'm gonna get me a Red Bull stack, okay, on the ice. Cause like I said, I wasn't gonna drink anyway. Cause like I said, I don't drink no more. I quit drinking. So, but I could drink a Red Bull. The Red Bull get me hyped up, right? Get me ready for the thing and hit me up. And then before I get to the club, as we walk into the door, I breathe and try to get my mental composure with me and say, hey, 25-year-old Jeff, I need you right now. I need you to save me. I need you to help me out. I need you to help me make it through this night, right? Because 25-year-old Jeff back in the day can party all night long. 40-year-old Jeff ain't party no night long. But I was like, come on, 25-year-old Jeff, help me out here, right? So as I'm trying to help myself up to the door and bring 25 Jeff up now, and he's taking his time. I guess he was dormant back there. So 25-year-old Jeff, he's trying to push his way up to come meet 40-year-old Jeff, but it's just not working the time frame I need to work in. So, but we digress. We get to the door. I'm looking at things. I'm saying, I'm hoping that something goes wrong. Like when my friends don't have their ID card, something like that. So we have to go back home, or, they're like, hey, your friends, they look a little too buzzed. We can't let y'all in. So I can say, you know what? Hey, we tried. We tried to go out and, it just didn't work out. We can go back home now, right? Nah, the bouncer or the guy at the door, whatever he was the night, he was like, That's what I'm talking about. Y'all come to party tonight here. I'm like, no. I just want to hang out with my friends for a little while. I think I'm not here to party. I'm not here to turn up. No turn up. No turn up. And he like, man, y'all gonna have a good time here tonight. You know, we got drink specials, we got food specials, and the DJ is gonna rock it all night long. I'm like, oh, all night long? Like the whole night? Like, don't he have to be like 11 o'clock or something like that? He got to go home? No, none of that. So I said, okay, you know what? Fuck it. We're doing it. So we walk in the door. Everything goes perfect as always. And we get in there. I get me my Red Bull stack, right? So I look at the bartender and she look at me. I say, hey, can I get a Red Bull? She said, you want some vodka? And I said, nah, I'm good. I don't want no vodka. I'm not trying to fall asleep tonight. She said, nah, that vodka get you ready, get you crumped up. I said, no, I just want the Red Bull. So she gave me the Red Bull, and I'm pretty sure that's my second mistake. I think that she put vodka in my Red Bull. So that's why matter of fact, that's the story I'm sticking with. She put vodka in my Red Bull. That's what aided me into my downfall. But like we started out, I have a lot of other things that, you know, contribute to the downfall that I'm about to run into, okay? So we get in there. We're about in there for about 5 to 10 minutes, right? And like I say, the atmosphere was grown up, you know, they were playing some nice blend of music and stuff like that. The DJ actually was nice. He was playing good music and stuff like that. But out there, way across the other side of the room, I can see it. It was a beautiful sight. It was like it was lit up just for me as I see it, because the whole place was pretty much dim, except that one spot way over in the corner. So guess what was in that one spot over in the corner? It was a couch. Oh, I said, you know what? I know I told myself I wore comfortable shoes. I was going to stay up the whole night. I wasn't going to lean against the wall. I wasn't going to lean against the counter. But at that moment, when I saw that couch, 40-year-old Jefferson took over. And I told myself, all I need is to sit down for about 5 to 10 minutes to, you know, gather myself up together and get it ready, you know, so I can muscle on through the rest of the night. Listen here, y'all, that was a mistake. I think that whoever lit that couch up, for me to see it at that time, that moment, that was a setup, because that was the first. That was like almost the last draw to the downfall of Jeff. But that's what was going on. So I walk over to the couch and I touch it a little bit. You know, I got to try it out, make sure it's good and clean and stuff like that. Oh, it was good and clean and soft. And guess what? It even had a recliner to it where you can kick your feet up, you know. And I got in there, like, hey, this is the VIP section. I said, okay, well, you know, I'm a VIP. I'm a very important person. He said, you know what? Your friends over there, they really just bought the VIP section, so y'all can go in. I'm like, holy crap. That was my one chance to get out of this, because if it was just a VIP section, I'm not going to pay to sit down, right? But they paid for us to sit down. Why would they pay for us to sit down? I mean, it's a club. Why we just couldn't stand up like everybody else or get some of the free chairs? But so, you know, we went and sit down. So they say, hey, Jay, you met us over there to the VIP section. See, that's what I'm talking about. So we going to get ready tonight. And like I said, you driving home since you ain't drinking. I said, you know what? Bet. I drive home tonight. You know what I'm saying? So since I'm driving home, I need to rest my feet a little bit, you know, so my feet won't be hurt. So when I'm driving home, I won't have no issues driving back to the house. So I sit my little black ass down into that goddamn couch, and you know, it hugged me. It hugged me like a pillow there. So I sit and tell it, oh, this is nice. And I let that recliner seats up, right? And I don't know when it happened or what took over, but in my mind, my mental state at that point told me, you're already washed, Damien. You're sitting on your couch and you're comfortable. And you know what the next thing happened? My eyes closed. Yeah, my eyes closed. And I don't even know how I fell asleep. I don't even know when I fell asleep because the music was loud and they was loud. The people was loud. How did I fall asleep? And that's why I go back to say, hey, that Red Bull. See, now you with me now, okay? Now you with me with the story. She spiked my drink. I was drugged. That's a story that I'm sticking to it. I was drugged. It's no way that, I should have fell asleep because I got 25-year-old Jeff with me. He was with me, and we was jamming together. So no, let me stop lying. He left. 25-year-old Jefferson left. So 40-year-old Jefferson took over, and 40-year-old Jefferson, when he hit that couch, he was down for the count. Like Mike Tyson just knocked me out. So but what happened after I fell asleep was even more jacked up. I hate camera phones. I do. I hate them because what we call that now is proof of life. They took pictures of me sleeping. And the sad part about it, I had my arms crossed, my head down, and I don't know if they put the saliva come out my mouth, or saliva came out my mouth. And you know I hadn't been sleeping good. Saliva came out. That was some good sleep. But I'm still trying to figure out how I fell asleep in the club when it was loud. The music was loud. The DJ was rocking. The DJ was rocking. Let me say it one more time. The DJ was rocking, playing all the hits. Lil Jon, Tupac, T.I. He even put a little Beyonce in there. Cuff it. I still fell asleep. Ain't that something? So, as you can see, like I started earlier, it wasn't my fault. I'm going back to the point where I got spiked at the bar. She spiked my Red Bull with some vodka. And since I'm a lightweight now, the little bit of vodka she put in there, it affected my body and took over my mind and just put me in a comatose state. It wasn't because, I didn't get my naps all day. It wasn't because my bedtime was at 9. It was none of that. But, and the sad part, after they took pictures of me and had a laugh at my expense, with friends like that who need enemies, we went, I think we left the club around by I think they let me sleep for it had to been a good 30 minutes. Because I felt somewhat rested after that. Felt like I can, jam up a little bit, but still need to go to bed. They took us out. We went, they said it was hungry. For some reason, everybody always hungry after the club. So we went, I wanted to find a Waffle House, but they didn't have a Waffle House. So we went to Denny's. Okay. I shouldn't have went to Denny's. When I went to Denny's, and anybody went to the Denny's after 2 is a bad mistake for anybody. Any age, especially if you've been drinking or not drinking. And especially for my old digestive system, Denny food is greasy. It went in so great. It came out so bad. So that was the end of my night. Yeah, I fell asleep in the club. Didn't have one drink. And went to Denny's, and the food ran through my stomach like a bad habit. So, hey, what can you say? Rocking in your 40s, baby. You gotta love it. So, thank you for rocking with me with episode 2. And I hope you take the lesson I just told you about falling asleep in the club seriously, because look, it's an epidemic. They need to stop letting us fall asleep in the club, and we need to start pre-gaming or pre-napping. That would say that's the new word. Pre-napping before we get there. But once again, thanks for rocking with me in episode 2, going down the club. And for you nasties again, it's not what you think, okay? Thank you for listening. Comments, shares, and topic suggestions are always encouraged. Like I said, my friends, if you have those pictures of me, don't post them. Okay? I know who you are. I will find you and come to your house. So don't post the pictures, okay? Don't embarrass me again in front of my family and friends, okay? As we move on to next week, episode 3, it's going to be a good one. Caught you looking, thirst trapping in the gym. Don't worry, you'll see what I'm talking about. Unstripped After 40, the podcast, untitled, unrehearsed, real talk from real people. Until next time, fam, keep rocking with me.